So place is also a good thing to do. So I have outdoor places and indoor places. So that platform is my outdoor place. So I just want something a little bit raised up. It doesn't have to be a wooden pallet or anything. It can be a dog bed, whatever you have, just as long as it feels different than the ground.
Okay.
And slightly raised is good. You could also do it. I've also done it on a mat, but I prefer slightly raised because you want all four of their feet to stay on, and on something that's flat on the floor, it's easier for them to get their feet off and not be able to tell so much as they can on a platform when their feet come off. So I just started. So place is. It's a good way to start the stay because we're not ready to start the stay with the sit yet. So it's a good way to start it. It's also a good way to have your dog chill in company once we get there with the behavior. It's a way to tell her to stay in one place when you have company over and under her own steam. Think of it as a more advanced sit on the dog.
Yeah.
Or a crate without the crate.
Yeah.
They have to stay them themselves. It's a really good mentally taxing exercise for dogs too.
Okay.
So it starts off really simply. Let me just make sure my little camera's going there.
Yeah,
I know, really good. Yeah, you know how many times I've gone and.
Oh, I'm sure.
Darn, I didn't get that video. So I just start by walking over it, and when all four of her feet go on, I'll say place. Sometimes they don't want to walk. Good place. So sometimes they jump over it, or she's a good job though. Place. Oh, good girl. Probably smart.
She does like things that are elevated.
Oh, good.
She has this little ottoman. It's like
Place.
2x2, and it's about this high, and she rolls it. She curls up on it.
Yeah, some dogs just are afraid to, they're not sure why I'm leading them over it. Wait. Good girl. So that's pretty simple to start. Let's do that for a few minutes.
So just whenever she gets up on it,
Yeah. Yeah, make sure all of her 4 feet are on. Yeah, you don't have to wait for her either, too. It's good to have her following you. There you go. The place also happens to be a good intro to leash handling, too. And like manipulating where your dog goes.
That's right.
Walk up to the place just like a little bit quicker this time to maybe get her there we go. Ah, but you don't have to you don't want a tight leash, but you don't need to leave that much of it out either, so you might be able to maneuver her a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Boris, my dog, is very distressed that I'm out here training another dog.
Yeah, I bet.
Even though it happens every day.
Good place.
He's not usually in the living room, though.
Oh, no. Good place.
Mournful wails of the baby Doberman.
Good place.
It wasn't pretty, but it did the trick.
Yeah.
I like for them to be kind of on the center, but it's not necessary. There you go.
Good place.
So that once they get to the point, I'm not sure you're there, where they'll walk on, the second step. Let's see if I can get her to do the second step. the second step, I'm gonna walk up, stop just short, point, and say place. Place. And then if she doesn't, just a little, good girl. So I just did a little pull. I could also do a body bump if I want to. Okay. Place. No. And you could say, I usually say no before then because I train my dogs that no means that's not what I'm looking for, so they'll try something else for me.
Okay.
So in between, like I'll say no, I'll pause and then give the correction because sometimes no with my dogs means oh, try something else, and they'll try it, but they have to hear it
Yeah.
over and over again.
Right.
Okay, let's go. Whereas good means good job, keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing. Place. No. Figuring it out.
Yeah.
Good girl. Okay, let's go. Place. Good girl. Good place. Good girl. Okay. All right, so try those. I call that when you see the direction, that's what I call the set.
Okay.
Or the beginning of the set.
Place. Place.
Yeah, and then no, and then
No.
just a little tug forward.
Girl. Okay. Place. Place.
No, and then tug. So remember, all commands, just say it once and then give the no, the verbal.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm looking for, then correction.
Good girl. Good place.
You don't even really have to give the no. I just prefer that because I like my dogs thinking
Yeah.
all the time.
For sure. Okay.
I like tired dogs.
Yeah. Place.
No, and then
No.
there you go. Good girl.
Girl. Nice.
Oh, and try to handle her on your left if you can. Because that's the way the collar's set up for left hand handling.
Okay.
Or not left hand, left handling. Because you're actually a lefty, right?
No, I'm actually a righty.
Oh, okay. I thought someone else told me they were a lefty. So point.
Place.
No.
No.
Then it's just a little tug.
Girl. Good place. Yeah. Okay. Place.
Little tug.
No.
Good.
Good girl. Place. Okay.
Remember to say okay before she leaves
Yeah,
the
she did
pallet.
that.
So bump her back on if she leaves before you say that.
Place. No. Good girl. Place. Okay. Place. No.
Good.
Good girl. Okay. Place.
Nice. I love how she goes to check everything out in between.
Place. No. Place.
Oh, don't say it again. So body bumper, you can body bumper back. There you go.
Good girl. Good place.
So that's another form of the correction.
Okay. Okay.
No.
No.
There you go.
Good girl.
Oh, breeze.
Place. No. Good girl. Okay. Place. 2 out of 10 is not bad.
Well, that's how it is, because remember, we're teaching them. They don't really, the only way they know what we're doing is that we keep repeating our steps over and over to them. That's when they talk about consistency. That's one of the things they mean.
Place.
Be sure you're not leading her with the correction, though, before you say place. 'Cause remember, we want her to do this all in her own steam.
Okay.
Because the goal is going to be able to do 4 in a row without needing a correction.
Place.
There you go. Perfect.
Place. Good job. Okay. Place.
Yeah, body. You can body bump her too. There you go. She was like in the perfect position to body bump right there.
Okay. Okay. Place.
Ta-da!
Good job. Okay. Place. No.
There you go.
Okay. Place. No. Good job. Okay. Place.
There we go. Another one.
Good job.
That's when I'm talking into my camera and doing this. That's why I'm like, and we revisit 1.
Okay. Place.
And 2.
Good. Good job. Okay. Place.
And body bump.
Okay. Place. Good. Job. Okay.
That was another 1 again, right?
Yeah. Good. Place. No. Good.
So notice she had, well, she has the hardest time with you from that angle right there.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yep. Okay.
1.
Okay. Place. No.
You can do it from straight on at first. It might be a problem with her because usually you wouldn't stop like that. It might be harder for her to see your point.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to this.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's try that.
Say that one more time.
So she's having a hard time. I think it's
Yeah, kind of.
Right?
Yeah.
but not such a hard time.
Okay. Place. No.
Here you go.
Place.
Ta-da! 1.
Okay. Place. No.
We've never seen grass before, Lyle.
Too many smells.
That's why it's good to get her used to this. If you have a biddable dog that's not wild and crazy right now, they're suddenly like, oh, grass. I've seen it 1,000 times before.
Place. No. Okay.
Never mind when well, this is kind of like going to a park away from the first time you go to a park that's not your yard, it's going to be like this.
Oh, yeah.
Even when she knows it.
Place.
1. Good girl.
Place.
So just step towards that back paw. There you go. Yeah, and just step like near it and kind of like just push it, nudge it a little bit. There you go.
She was going for it.
I know. Then loudmouth, right?
Yeah, that's good though. Place.
I think it's more of a camaraderie thing going on in there because I got Boris's favorite pal right now, Boss, in a crate.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
one of my clients' dogs. They're all like, you bark, I bark.
Yeah.
2.
Okay. Place.
Good. 3. This is when you start to get nervous. Try not to get nervous.
Place.
Ta-da! So that took